If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. It's kind of ironic how I dropped that video about Tyler the Creator yesterday, and today he released a new song. And this is, of course, meant for his new album, Call Me If You Get Lost, which we talked about yesterday, which I went over all the hints for, all the teasers for. And today, as I said, he did drop a new track, and let's talk about it. So basically what happened is Tyler dropped a new track kind of as like a surprise drop today on Wednesday, June 16th, called Lumberjack. This came pretty surprising and unexpected because, just a couple of days ago we got those hints that maybe a new album is coming. We had those, Call Me If You Get Lost title that was temporarily kind of like what we held on to. We kind of knew it was an album, but not really. It was all kind of mysterious, but now that he's actually dropping new music, new singles, this is pretty much confirmed that this is going to be his next album. This track, Lumberjack, completely came out of nowhere. He just tweeted, "Lumberjack out everywhere now." If you go on any digital streaming platform, you can see that it's out. The track is pretty short. It's 2 minutes in length, 2 minutes and 18 seconds to be exact. It also got a video on YouTube, which is, shorter than the actual track. It only features a snippet of it, but it's still... I like that video. I love that video. It was made really cool. There are some great scenes in there. Tyler goes into a lot of different roles in there, and I really love that. So go watch that if you haven't yet. But let's actually talk about the actual track. This thing is produced by DJ Drama, which is a pretty big thing because DJ Drama is a well-known producer in hip-hop, and I like that he collaborated with Tyler on this one. I'm not exactly sure on what tracks they've collaborated before, if any, but this worked really well. Tyler kind of uses a pretty monotone voice in this one, but that really fits with his very deep voice, as he's kind of known for. Kind of thematically, this track is not talking about that much, just right off the bat that I could really pick up on. It's more of just some witty bars in there. What I found interesting is that in the intro he again mentions his mother. He says, "Oh my God, I never seen nothing like this." That's what my mom was saying. She was crying and stuff. She was like, "This stuff is beautiful." It was a beautiful moment. In that number that we had so far that you could call, also his mom was featured in a conversation. So there's some theme going on with his mom that he always is now mentioning her, because if it happens this much, then there has to be some underlying reason to this. But we don't really know so far. So yeah, that's kind of all we know. Another interesting thing that he added is, and I think he deleted it since, but what we know so far about the album is some of the track listing, because when he tweeted, and that is why I said that he deleted it again because I couldn't find it anymore, is he also added the number 5 to the Lumberjack track. So that means that this is probably the 5th track off of it. And the same thing then happened for that Side Street track that we got the day before, which is now at spot 10 on the track list. And that's also what the unofficial Genius track listing says so far. There are a couple of other leaks and snippets mentioned on here too, but nothing that we had really officially released. There's also, for example, that Mama Talk thing on here that was the voice message that we had. So there's just a bunch of information floating around right now that we kind of need to still see what this all pans out in the bigger picture. But I did like this track. I thought, it really fit Tyler's style. That hook was pretty catchy. I liked his verses. He really had that deep voice flow again that I like him for, that I love him for, and we've seen him do stuff like that in the past. It wasn't really that Igor sound. It was not that mysterious kind of with the vocal filter on it. This was really something that maybe he could have done on Cherry Bomb or some, mid-verse thing on Flower Boy, which I really appreciate that he's going back to that style. As much as I love the Igor sound, I think that Tyler is truly at his greatest when he can just rap like just bars. Even if some people might find it corny, I believe he always does it with such a confident wit that it always comes, just comes out pretty witty. We are, of course, not sure if this is the style that he'll be going back for the entirety of this new album, Call Me If You Get Lost. We don't have any other information on this yet. He didn't specifically say that this is a single for his new album. He's never actually, explicitly said that this is a new album, because we know Tyler works on a lot of other stuff and a lot of other collaborations. This might be for something else, but, it's that time of the year again. Flower Boy, I think, dropped around this time in 2017. Igor did drop in May of 2019, so this is like around the time, the beginning of summer or like midsummer, that Tyler is usually dropping, so this fits that schedule perfectly and would just make sense if he releases a new album. I've seen some comments under his videos again that said like, oh, it's Confused Boy Summer again, which I thought was pretty funny because Tyler's projects, or at least his last two projects, Flower Boy and Igor, which are probably my favorite Tyler projects, have kind of been about exploring himself, about kind of, diving into his emotions, going into what, just his thoughts about life and the struggles that he has with them. And a lot of people can relate to that, and a lot of people love Tyler for that. And I think that is, gonna come up in this new thing again, because at least what we can take from the title, Call Me If You Get Lost, that might, play into that theme as well. I also still think it's kind of funny that the album is called Call Me If You Get Lost and there was a phone number connected to it which you could actually call. I mentioned that in the other video as well, but I just think it's so ironic that you can literally call that number if you get lost. And I hope that he kind of references that in the album as well. So far, I'm looking forward to this thing a lot because the rollout seems pretty planned. It seems like he knows what he's doing. I think Tyler's always pretty good at, just doing little teasers, giving us a little bit of, snippets and all that until we get the final thing. And he's always very confident in the end product. And it's never like he tries to please anybody, which, in Tyler's case, he's also never failed at not doing. But that's part of what I appreciate about Tyler and what I'm looking forward to hearing on this new thing as well. So Call Me If You Get Lost is coming out sometime soon. He's also performing at Lollapalooza later on in July, so the album is probably going to be out before then, because usually artists use that to perform new songs, to get people talking about the album and just promote it. So hopefully we're getting it before then. We got a single, so it's got to come out sometime soon, probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, this is kind of what we know so far. A new Tyler track, Lumberjack, out now. Go listen to it if you haven't yet. Are you excited for Call Me If You Get Lost? Were you a Tyler fan before Igor? I'm for sure very much looking forward to this because I think this is going to be one of the greatest albums of the year, hands down. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.